Beyond Beauty podcast. Today I'm interviewing Brianna Crenshaw. Brianna is a licensed esthetician, certified lash artist, and permanent makeup artist from Salina, Texas. She is currently a permanent makeup instructor at 3D Lash Brow Academy. So how's it going today, Brianna?
Good. Nervous.
Nervous? You don't have to be. We're just having a conversation. We're just chatting. So tell me, I want to know about how long you've been in the beauty industry for, and how did you get started? What was that like?
So I've been in the beauty industry for a little over 3 years now. I decided to get into the beauty industry because throughout high school I was in art class, and so I was really interested in art, anything creative. And I grew up with sisters, so I have 3 sisters, so we were always all into makeup as well. And I got really into making my artwork from paper onto my eyes. Mm-hmm. And so that's really what got me into going to beauty school, because when I did go to beauty school, I went because I was interested in makeup, and then I found out about lash extensions, and from there I grew.
Yeah, so what first inspired your love of beauty makeup? Because I know for me it was, I feel like I hear a lot of girls whose moms teach them. I found all this stuff on the internet. I feel like that is the benefit of kind of the age of the beauty world that you and I are growing up in, is all of this is so readily available. And I'm in 8th grade finding beauty YouTubers who are the OG, Mac Barbie 07, Miss Clamarazzi, Michelle Phan, all of those. What first got you into makeup? I think I like this.
So growing up, since I've always had the artistic ability, I've always practiced on my siblings. And so really what got me into makeup is when I was practicing on them, we actually had a family photo shoot, and the photographer asked, "Who did y'all's makeup?" because I barely had to do any editing on it. And my mom was like, "Oh, my daughter did it." And from there, that photographer asked me to be a makeup artist for them, for their photography. And that's really where I started really getting into it. Before I had interest, it was kind of a hobby, but not my job. And so when I started working for that photographer, it really got me more into the beauty industry. It was a step in the door kind of thing, and that's really what got me started there.
That's so cool. So that was your first makeup job with that photographer? Cool. Mm-hmm. So what was the steps to, I guess, going to beauty school? Because I know for me, I thought about it for a while, and it was finishing high school, I was Mom, I think I might want to try out cosmetology school, because I also I always love to play with makeup. I still do. What was kind of but then I had my mom being I didn't put you through 4 years of private school for you to go do this. And I'm okay, what was kind of the driving force behind, okay, so first, what were your family's reactions to because did you go to a traditional university or college?
So after high school, I did go to a university. Mm-hmm. I was there for a year, and I started out doing art, but then I changed my major actually to engineering.
What? What kind? Chemical, civil?
Architectural.
Okay.
And civil. Those were my main interests, but freshman year engineering is hard. They try to weave out the ones that struggle.
I hate the freshman year weed out classes. I
Yes.
hate those.
And so my mom like saw me struggling, and she was like, well, why don't you go to beauty school? And I was like, well, isn't beauty school just hair? And she was like, no, they have like other programs that you can learn like makeup. And I was like, what? Like, because I feel like the beauty industry wasn't as big then. It was like 2017, like it was just starting to get like bigger. But like lash extensions weren't really that big then, maybe like classic lashes, but now we've got all the way to like mega volume. And so my mom got me to go around and check out different beauty schools, and when I went and toured them, it was the aesthetics program. It is based off of facials, so I am like, I do have the knowledge of doing facials and stuff, but my main focus in beauty school was makeup. And then when I went there, I found out about lashes, and I was like, what is this? And I started getting more into those as well. So makeup and lashes, I was known as the makeup go-to girl there. Everybody at school was like, can you do my makeup? Can you do my makeup? Can you do my makeup?
Awesome. Were you like that, like high school, like prom dances? Were you the go-to, like were friends asking you?
Well, yeah, and then my mom always liked to do our hair for us, and she always wanted to do our makeup too, but I was like, no, I'll do my own makeup.
I'm the same way. I'm like so particular. Like I always talk about, like when I get married one day, I'm like, I'm not hiring anyone. Like this is up to me. Not let anyone touch my face.
Yeah.
So I want to know, I feel like I always see all these TikToks that are like, what to expect in beauty school, or like the realities of beauty school. Like I want to know, like tell me about your experience, like day one through like throughout, like what was it like?
Beauty school, I actually really enjoyed beauty school. I'm still friends with like some of the people I went to beauty school with, actually. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be like a lot of drama because it's a school full of mostly girls. But really it was actually interesting because I did get to learn more into depth on different things, like how like I didn't know anything about lashes, and I did get to learn that, and my instructor did walk me through those steps. But in beauty school it was always so fun. Like once we got out of our we went through like 4 different phases. That's what they called them. Phase 1, phase 2. Each one had an A and B phase. When you got into like phase 2, you really got to start like practicing on each other, like in the spa and stuff, and taking clients.
What was like phase 1?
Phase 1 covered more like theory and like bookwork stuff. And then the instructor would do like demos for us. And then phase 2, we really started like doing it on each other, and we started like having clients come in as well, which was, everyone was so nervous about that because we were all nervous about the consultation. We're like,
Is it consultation for like makeup or?
Yeah, so we'd have consultations for like, because we did waxing, facials, makeup, lash extensions, and when I first started taking clients, I was like, ooh, I want clients to come in for lash extensions. And then I was like practicing on my classmates, and the first time I ever did lashes, actually, I did not know you were supposed to tape down the bottom of my lashes. And so I practiced on my friend, and I was like, wow, they look so great open. And she couldn't.
Oh no.
And after that I was like, okay, tape them down. Like, I thought you could just have them close their eyes and then you just go in and start lashing, and I don't know, I didn't think about it.
How'd you get them apart? What happened?
We had to do a removal.
Oh, okay.
all that like 3 hours of work. It was so funny because when I first started doing lashes, it was like it looks like I spent like 3 hours on a set, and it looks like I applied like 10 lashes. But yeah, from there, like, even in beauty school, like, we had like an event. It was called Face Off, and in that event, it was a cosmetology based event for hair, but it was like a runway show, so they needed makeup artists for it, and so I actually was one of 2 makeup artists that went to do makeup on like 20 girls.
Oh my goodness.
And so I like was there for 10 hours straight one day just doing makeup on everybody.
Ooh.
Because I had asked other people in the school, I was like, can y'all get some more makeup artists because this is tiring?
Yeah.
And they were like, we'll try, and they would get other people, and they were like, I don't know, it's not the same as your work, we want you. And I'm like, okay, whatever, like, I'll do it. It's gonna be a lot of hard work, but it's gonna pay off because it also helped me build like my portfolio and everything from doing everybody's makeup for that.
Yeah.
And it was actually really fun.
So talk about, you said there's 4 phases. Where are 3 and 4?
So phase 3, 3 and 4 are like your last 2 phases that you have, so you're kind of more experienced in it. So in those phases, you do take more clientele, and then phase 4 is kind of like your ending hours, where you're starting to like get more into like practicing your practical or and stuff like that. So if 2 and 3 is really where you take all your clients. 4, you'll take clients, just not as many, because you're going to be focused more on practicing for when you graduate afterwards to take the final test and everything.
So what were you doing when you finished beauty school? Like, what was your first job?
My first job out of beauty school, I went and worked at a lash studio, actually.
Oh, okay.
I started getting more into lashes because I did only know classic lashes, so I wanted to get more into learning how to make fans and everything, and so I did start working at a lash studio. I did only work there for a couple months, but after that I did go to another lash studio that I worked there for 2 years, and that was the last job I had before I became the instructor here.
So transitioning from, oh, I really like doing makeup, I know I'm good at it, I want to pursue this, to just kind of branching out into like aesthetics, lashes, permanent makeup, and then now you're an instructor. What made you want to make that transition into teaching?
So as I was doing lashes, I've come to realize that I'm really good at instructing people, like teaching people how to do. Yeah, I was like, I don't want to say it like that. Teaching somebody how to do something. So like I taught my mom how to do a removal.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so like whenever I need my lashes removed, I don't have to go anywhere and get them removed. I taught her how to do it.
Nice.
And my mom was like, understood it really fast, and she's like, you're really good at teaching, and she's like, I think you'd be good at like being an instructor, because you do show so much passion for what you do like, and I feel like you could instruct others to be like you and to be successful and really like go into depth more like on permanent makeup, I guess, but that they could really like, I'm really good at making people understand what I'm saying, and I'm never like, I'm a pretty patient person, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So I say I'm a pretty patient, impatient person. So deep down, I'm like, just hand it to me. But really, I'm like, okay, they gotta do it. Like, and so I really just let them be really hands-on with it. So So I guess really my mom got me into being an instructor because she said I was really good at teaching her how to do it, and so I got this job.
Yes, I totally get the patient person, because my boyfriend's a special ed teacher and everyone's like, oh, you must be so patient, and I'm like, with them because they have an excuse, but with other people, like I don't have the time, or with other adults, I don't have the time for that. So I want to hear like more about how your mom has like helped you on your career journey, because like to have that kind of parental support, I don't want to say it's rare, but I just feel like most parents are like, oh, like you're not gonna like get a real job or like that kind of thing. Like, what are your thoughts on like, I guess, yeah, tell me more about like how your mom's like helped you with your career. Or
yeah, so it's actually been my mom and my dad. So my dad actually has his own businesses as well that he started from the ground up.
Oh, cool.
And so it really like he's been helping me like create my own business and help me with that. And he's always like, if you ever need any like business info or how to market or do all these things, like we can have a meeting together. And then they also, like, both my parents have allowed me to like use the spare bedroom in our house as like my studio. So I have like a whole setup there. And even like my little sister has even helped me out as well. She's like told all her friends to like, hey, my sister does this, like she's been posting about me.
That's
it's kind
awesome.
of and we even had like a deal at once where it's like, I'll do free services on you if you advertise me.
Yes.
And like even like the same with my mom. I do my mom's lashes, I do my mom's brows and her lips, and everyone's always like, oh, where'd you get those done? Where'd you get that done? And she's like, my daughter.
Awesome.
Yeah, so both my parents have really been supportive, and they, like, even in beauty school, they made it seem like I was paying for it, but they were paying for it. It was just like a deal me and my mom had. She was like, okay, clean the house once a week,
right?
And I'll give you the money for the school. I was
awesome.
like, okay, that sounds like a plan.
That's what I love, like, because family support is like so important. So let's see, how'd you come across your current job as a permanent makeup instructor? Like, were you just like searching for instructor jobs, or like how did this take place for you?
So I actually posted in a Facebook group that I was a licensed esthetician, certified lash artist, certified in permanent makeup, and that I was looking for a job. And Amy actually reached out to me and was like, send me your portfolio and resume. And I sent it to her, and she responded like so fast, and she was like, wonderful work. I want you to come in for an interview. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've never taught before. What do I do? Like,
how old were you when
22.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so she was like, come in, and I want to see like how you do. Like, I know you don't have much teaching experience, but everyone can, like, some people can really be taught how to teach. And the first week I was here, we actually had a certification class, and Amy was like, I want you to sit in on it with me and just see how I do things so you can get the feel of it. And she actually ended up like letting me be by myself, because she was like, you're a natural teacher. She was like, you did perfect. She was like, you didn't even need me there.
That must have been great to hear from the literal CEO of the company.
Yeah.
Let's see. So when you were talking about kind of when you were first starting out in the industry, you were saying how kind of like the beauty industry wasn't as big as it was now. Do you think, like, what ways has social media kind of like affected the beauty industry? And do you think it's for the good or the bad?
I think social media has played a really big part in making the industry like increase in popularity, just because everyone started like on it. I feel like it started really on YouTube when people started putting all those makeup tutorials, like how to do winged eyeliner, like or like smoky black eye, like everyone would always do those dark gray, like
Yes.
and then the metallic eyeshadow,
A nice glitter prom glam, like,
eyeliner right on the waterline.
Yes.
And so from there, like I would always watch like YouTube videos and see like different like techniques on there, but I know even like a lot of like influencers now like started off from YouTube and are now like really like have a high following on like Instagram or like even on Facebook too. Like Facebook plays a part in it as well, but Instagram started with the like people started posting like when Instagram had the release where you could post multiple photos, so then you can post like before and afters, and then they came out with like TikTok and the reels, and people started making videos of those. So like since people didn't want to watch like a 20-minute video on a makeup tutorial, you could watch a 60-minute TikTok video and get the same info, just faster.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that really, it played a big part and made it really increase there in popularity.
Do you think that the bigger influencers and like how, I mean, anyone can just like blow up these, or I guess not anyone, but there's like a higher potential to. Do you think, you know, seeing as an instructor, do you think that's had an effect on people wanting to like go to cosmetology school or get like certain certifications? Because it's like, you know, kind of the bigger players in the game, like Brad Mondo, like with hair. I was watching one of his videos the other day, and I was looking at the comments, and people were like, he didn't even go to cosmetology school. Like he's like, or same with like James Charles, like he's not, like he didn't have any sort of like professional like education. Do you think that kind of the people in that spotlight, do you think that that's affected people wanting to go to beauty school?
That's a hard question.
Yeah.
I feel like yes and no, because like half of the audience will see it and be like, ooh, I want to be licensed in that. And then there's other people saying, well, why spend the money when I could watch a YouTube video over it?
Yeah.
But really, licensed and YouTube certified are not the same thing, because you don't really get the in-depth theory of everything, and you don't have like that instructor there to play the role, to someone that's already experienced to give you that one-on-one in person, because everything in person is so much different than online. Because in person you can actually like, I don't know, you can really like show them like and sit next to them, and they can see like every movement you do, every way you like, even like if you have the permanent makeup gun, like the way you hold it, the way like, and it really affects differently for different people. But I know like when the reason like I even got started in permanent makeup was because I did see it on social media.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people posting like tattoo eyebrows, and I was like, what is that? Like, because I've always been into like art and tattoos, and I'm like, that sounds fun. Like, it combines makeup and tattooing together. What? Like, and so I did a lot of digging, and I found like several people were recommending this one person over and over and over again on social media, and I was like, okay, well, I have to go to him to get certified in this. Like, I need him to teach me. It was never a thought in my mind that I was like, oh, I'll learn this on YouTube. Yeah, like, because I really needed somebody to be there one-on-one next to me, and I really think everybody would benefit from doing it that way, and there would be a lot less like problems that do go on, because there are people that like come and need like color corrections because like the person went too deep into their skin because they probably weren't taught correctly
for eyebrow microblading, right?
Yeah, and then there's like, even for lashes, like there's people that use like way too much glue or too thick of lashes, probably because they're not licensed or even certified in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how.
First learning how to do makeup, or just, I guess, throughout your life, being in a very social media heavy era, was there any like makeup techniques or any like different like styles or trends you've seen from influencers, or just like other people that you've just like met like across your life that you're like, oh, maybe I'll try this looks cool, but now you like do it all the time?
Well, before I got my eyebrows done, I did used to ombre them myself with like the Anastasia pomade.
The dip brow, yes.
And I was like, oh, but like at first when I saw people doing it, I was like, why don't people just like their natural eyebrows? Like, what? And then I did it, and I was like, this is life changing. I was like, wow, I can make my eyebrows more sculpted and like darker, and they just like, to me it looked nice because like I was always so used to like art itself, like I liked everything to be neat and precise and everything, and I just felt like it was like adding it to my face, and so I think the ombre brows was really the technique that I liked best, and so that's why I got it tattooed.
Yes. I also was a huge proponent of the 2016 like bold like ombre brow.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. Okay, so I wanted to introduce a new segment to the podcast called Fad or Rad. So I am going to read a list of current beauty trends, and you're gonna say if you think they are just a fad, so like they're going away just as the 2016 brow kind of did, or they're rad and they're here to stay. They're not going anywhere. So first we've got bleached brows. Fad or rad?
Which one was the one that's out of style?
Fad.
Fad?
Yes.
That's a fad.
Why do you say that?
No comment. I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. It gives kind of like runway show.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't think anyone would actually like wear that out.
Yeah.
Unless you're Jeffree Star.
Yes. I saw, and his are gone.
Yeah, I think he just like shaved them off.
I was gonna say, I remember I saw either like Kim Kardashian and Kendall Jenner. They've posted the bleach brow look, but yeah, I was like, that was probably for a photo shoot. I've been seeing that pop up a lot. Okay, so next we got like the brushed up, like fluffy soap brows.
I think a fad.
Fad.
This is just a personal opinion.
Yeah. No, yeah, I want to hear it. That's what I'm here to ask you about.
Well, honestly, I've never been a fan of the soap brows just because I'm like everything to be neat, and that seems messy to me. It's like, it looks nice. Like a lot of people that can pull it off. Like, and I know a lot of people that do like it, like, because I do laminations as well, so it's like I do have people come in and want that look. So I'm not gonna, just because I don't like it, I'm not gonna not do it on someone else. So I don't know. To me, it just looks messy. Like I think I'd prefer if you like brush the hairs down a little. Yeah, not so like. Yes. It looks like when I was back like a kid in the bathtub and I like brushed my brows up and I was like, I'm evil.
Explain for those who don't know what a brow lamination is.
Oh, so brow lamination is you use a perming solution on the brows. It relaxes the brow hairs to where you can style them or position them in a certain way, and they will stay like that for about 6 to 8 weeks. With the brow lamination, you can also get them tinted as well. So if you do have like really long brow hairs, but your brows seem like thin, you can get a brow lamination and make your brows look fuller. Or if your brow hairs grow down, you can get one to flatten them out to have them lay more naturally across your skin.
All right. So next we have like the very like glowy, dewy, natural makeup look.
I think that's rad.
Yeah.
I think natural look's always been in. I don't think that ever went away. Everyone's always like wants to wear makeup to where it doesn't look like you're wearing makeup. Like just like soft contour and just a little bit of highlight, and to give you really that glow to where it looks like you are just naturally glowing. And
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so next, these recently went viral on TikTok as popularized by Hailey Bieber. These are glazed donut nails. She uses it's a white gel polish base, and then above it is like a chrome powder above it to make it look kind of iridescent. What do you think? Just a fad or rad?
I don't know. I think those nails have always been kind of in style, like rad, I guess, because like it kind of reminds me of like wedding nails, though.
Yes.
I feel like I'd get those if I was getting married or going to the beach. But I also feel like nail designs are in now.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of nail designs. So I don't know. I think it's a rad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that leads me into that the minimal manicures and like the glowy makeup. Have you heard of the term clean girl aesthetic? Have you heard of that? I've been seeing it pop up a little bit on social media. It's kind of the same realm of like no makeup look, like a slick backed bun, like very like neutral fits. Like it's a whole, like I was doing this deep dive into it, like it's a whole like goes down to like your home decor. Like it's a whole I think it is very much the new like Visco girl. Like remember that? Yes. So what do you think that whole like clean girl, like do you think that that's kind of just another like the current day Visco girl, or like do you think that like that might be here to stay?
I think it might be here to stay just because aesthetics has really been like getting more popular, so I think a lot of people are wanting to have that fresh skin, like I don't know, slick back hair look.
Yeah.
Like I think that's here to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next we have lip blushing. Thoughts?
Lip blushing I think is a rad.
Okay.
I actually got lip blushing done, and it's honestly a lifesaver because I mean I got it done right after the pandemic kind of, and so like now when you wear a mask it's like your lipstick don't come off. It's always there, like. And
so lip blushing can be, because it's essentially like getting your lips tattooed, right? Is it either, so you can either like just to make it look fuller and you can add color, or okay.
Yeah. So with lip blushing you can make them, it does give the illusion of fullness. And because you can slightly overline the Cupid's bow, but you never want to overline them because it will be very noticeable if you do too much of an overline.
Oh, okay.
But prior to me getting lip blushing, it looked like I had no top lip. Like my top lip almost like blended in with my skin, and like I think it does help like with a lot of people like that do have like either like hyperpigmentation in their lips, because lip blushing isn't just adding color to make your lips like look like they have lipstick, but there are people that do have the hyperpigmentation in their lips where their lips are darker in areas to where you can neutralize them to look like a natural lip color again, so they won't have that darkness. And then you can people that do have like their lips like blend in with their face, you can add like there's different shades you can do, so there is a very natural like normal like pink color you can use on people to make it look like it's just their natural lips. But then there's also to where you can go and get red lips done. Like it depends on how dramatic you want it.
Yeah, because I think from what I had heard about it, it seemed like it was kind of a safer alternative to getting fillers. Like I feel like fillers are definitely on their way out. Like especially like the key players like the Kardashians and the Jenners. Like I feel like you can see the bigger celebrities that like had their lips and like they're getting their fillers dissolved. Fillers dissolved, BBLs reversed.
Yeah.
Like it's okay, next is graphic liner.
Graphic liner? I think graphic liner is a rad. I feel like graphic liner has low-key been in for a while, but it's just changed over time, like I guess how it looks, because I feel like graphic liner is kind of like maybe like you could do like graphic liner like 70s look or 80s look, or but then like when you got more into with the 90s, they started doing like really thick liner. And then once the 2000s hit, people started wanting to do more like winged eyeliner, so that's still kind of like graphic, but then like everyone started adding like to make it look like a cut crease or so I think that's a rad. I think graphic liner's a rad. Yeah.
Do you think with eyeliner trends now, like do you see a lot of, I guess because you do permanent makeup and you can get permanent eyeliner done, right? What normally do you see like people want with that?
So with eyeliner, most people do want like the lash enhancement liner. So instead of having that dark liner line on top of like your eyelid when you look down, it will be more like in your lash line where your lashes do grow out at.
Okay.
And so it makes your lashes appear fuller. So instead of having that liner up top, it will just add darkness to your lash line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So next is semi-permanent freckles. These are usually done with henna, I believe.
Yes, and they can also be tattooed as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, but that would be like permanent, or.
Well,
or no?
It would last like 2 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about that trend?
I like the trend, but I definitely think it's a fad. I don't think it's gonna last. But I mean, because people that don't have freckles want freckles, and the people that do have freckles don't want freckles.
Yep.
And I feel like if you get it done, I don't know. I like it. I feel like I would get it done and just to make it last.
Yeah.
And because I feel like I wouldn't be opposed to having freckles all the time, but then when it comes to covering them up, I would be like, like,
yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a fad though. I
Okay.
think it's gonna go out of style.
So next we've got the shag haircut, or I guess it's also known as the wolf cut.
I think that's rad.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that haircut was in style in like what, the 70s?
70s, 80s, yeah.
Yeah, and but I feel like, I don't know, people have taken a different twist on it to where it's kind of like been like, because it's not exactly the same as when it was like in the 70s, 80s, or whatever. It's they've changed it up a little to fit the new era of things, but I think it's a rad. I think it'll, because like it gives like rocker vibes.
Yeah, I like that hairstyle a lot. Next we've got men wearing nail polish, like my example today, Joe Jonas, my favorite Jonas brother.
I think that's a fad.
Yeah. Why do you say that?
I don't know. Not my thing. Every time I see guys that wear nail polish, I have to do a double take. I'm like, are their fingernails bruised? What's going on?
Because
I just don't understand where the trend started. It gives like punk rock, but like people that are like pop singers are doing it. So I'm like, what?
Yes, it's definitely like, especially with male celebrity like Machine Gun Kelly and Harry Styles, like releasing their nail polish lines, and it's like, oh, it's nail polish for men. That's like, okay, so any other nail polish? Like, I feel like and when you were saying you see them and you do a double take, it's like, because I feel like the rappers or the singers that do it, like, it's like chipped, like it, or they just don't upkeep well. I'm like,
or they only have like one finger down.
I know. I'm like, or it's like with literal Sharpie.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I'm going to be held, if I'm going to get like glanced at, be like, oh, like one of your extensions fell off, or like your chip, like they should be like held to the same standard. I'm like, I'm gonna need you to like come done and ready, like none of this half done stuff. Those are my thoughts on that. And then last we've got claw clips.
Claw clips. I feel like those never went out of style. But I feel like they just started, like, to me, I feel like claw clips were never, like they never were, like, reintroduced, like, oh my gosh, and I was like, oh my gosh, a claw clip, what? Like, I already knew what it was, but I very rarely use a claw clip because I feel like I got too much hair for it, or it always falls out, so, but I think it's nice, it looks nice, it's easy, it's like, kind of like wearing a scrunchie in your hair. I always have scrunchies, and so I feel like it's a rad.
Yeah, because that's what I remember when I first started seeing them pop up more, and my mom always wore those in her hair, and I was like, Mom, like, you're like, this is the thing now to have, and she's like, oh, well, I've always just had it, it's never stopped. Like,
started out like the banana clip where you'd put your hair in it and then like clip it back or something, and it was like like fold it together.
Are there any beauty trends that you wish would like have a resurgence? You would like want to bring them back?
I like bell bottoms, but
yes,
I already feel like that's something that's coming back, and that's already back.
Yes,
it's already a trend that's back. Everyone loves bell bottoms.
I love a good statement pants. That's also my thing. I think you can tell by my cheetah print skirt. All right, is there anything that you want to plug? Where can they find you? Business info?
If y'all ever want to reach out to me, y'all could find me on my Instagram page at BC Beauty with 3 Ys.
All right, well, this has been the Beyond Beauty podcast with Brianna Crenshaw. Thanks for chatting with me today.
You're welcome.